Good morning. It's Thursday, August 6th. Here's what's making news today. The Niagara region is continuing to recover after 2 floods in 5 days. Our Emily Huang will be live with more details.
A new report says human-induced climate change helped fuel the nation's wildfires.
Stop complaining and give the people what they want.
And rock band Weezer dropped a new music video ahead of the release of their 20th studio album. Good morning and happy Thursday. We are so close to this week being over, but not so fast because we are going on a field trip. After this show, we're going to be in Windsor later. So
look at Windsor, here we come.
I'm very excited.
Yep. We will be at a little bit of a flash ahead to what I've got coming up. On the road again.
Yes. Oh.
Throwback Thursday.
Hint.
Maybe that's something that we might plan for today. But yeah, we'll be on the road again tomorrow into Windsor. And it looks like it's going to be a little unsettled, unfortunately. It's going to be unsettled starting today and into the day tomorrow. Now, we'll start off with some sunshine for this morning, so not too bad to start. I mean, right now we're mild. We're sitting at 17 degrees. But we're going to climb to 29 with a humidex of about 36 to 37 for the day today. So it's going to be sticky, but we're going to get some showers and thunderstorms pushing in today and for the day tomorrow as well. So a couple of warm days, but a couple of unsettled days as we head toward the weekend. And we'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Looking at traffic this morning, nothing here. 403 Waterdown Road, all doing fine there. That's our exclusive camera. We do have a problem. QEW Skyway, Burlington Skyway, as we go to this MTO traffic camera. We did have a collision, QEW west of Eastport. So we're looking here, as you can see, it is really slow heading toward the Skyway Bridge already here this morning. Now, the collision has cleared, but look at the backlog as you try to head toward the Burlington Skyway Bridge. Now, it does tend to pick up a fair bit now as you're heading up on the bridge, so at least that's good. But as you come through Stony Creek to try to get onto the Skyway Bridge, it is really slow right there. So we'll talk about that traffic coming up in a few minutes. Also, we'll give you all the details on the forecast as well. Right now, the news.
Thanks, Brian. Recovery efforts in the Niagara region are expected to ramp up today, with community partners expected to deploy in Lincoln and St. Catharines to help residents regain their footing. Emily Huang joins us live in St. Catharines this morning with the latest. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning, Simone. We're actually outside Community Care. They're a local charitable organization based in St. Catharines and Thorold, actively involved in the recovery effort. We will be speaking with the CEO later this morning. But as of this morning, here's where we stand. St. Catharines and town of Lincoln remain in states of emergency, but the focus is now on the recovery. The city of St. Catharines is reporting the appearance of sinkholes across the city, which it says are due to the recent heavy rain. Geneva Street is closed from Glanholm Drive to Guy Road at this time. The city is also actively accepting applications to its Vulnerable Assistance Registry. That's for eligible residents who need help with removing water and waste from their homes. As for waste removal, the city's expanded enhanced waste pickup is still in effect. Garbage can be placed at the curb even if it's not your regular collection week, and that will stay in effect in St. Catharines until August 14th. As for Lincoln, the town says it continues to assess the situation and coordinate closely with regional and provincial partners. We're told that Ontario Corps Volunteer Organization will be deployed here for preliminary assessments, and a fuller deployment by them is expected in the weekend. Now, Lincoln is also taking a take-all curbside collection approach. That's still in place for the red zone until tomorrow, but for all residents across the township from the 10th to the 14th. And during that time, residents can place their garbage curbside, even if it's not their regular garbage collection week as well. Now, Premier Ford was in the region, specifically Jordan in Lincoln, yesterday, along with municipal partners. He did an assessment, walkabout out of a farm, and we are told that the province is actively assessing the region's eligibility for the disaster relief assistance program, and that would provide a financial relief for eligible residents for expenses on things like repairs, cleanup, and that's typically granted at times of natural disasters. That's not confirmed yet, but we will have more as throughout the day. For now, I'll send things back to you, Rick.
Thanks, Emily. Many Niagara vineyards are also dealing with flood damage after the recent heavy rainfall. Rob Kandata from Hansberger Estate Winery in Jordan says he's never seen so much rain, and he's not alone.
The last couple of weeks have been a little bit dicey, and definitely more rain than I've ever seen in my entire life.
Is it too early to know how you'll be impacted?
It's a little bit early. A lot of moisture obviously will let us see a lot of growth in the vineyards, so it'll make things kind of explode a little bit. But really the big problem for us was our implements and our tractors being able to get into our vineyards. Being flooded out like that, you can't get out there, so it's difficult to go out and do the jobs you need to do at the time.
Growers say they won't know the true impact, if any, until the fall harvest.
Niagara police are warning residents about flood restoration scams while the community continues to clean up after the significant rainfall. Police say scammers are imitating restoration companies and junk removal services as a way to gain access to homes and search for valuables. Residents are also being urged to not leave property outside and unsecured in areas affected by the flooding. Some helpful tips from police include getting recommendations from people you trust, making sure the contractor is insured before starting work, checking references of past jobs, and being cautious of offers via phone or door-to-door.
A new report says human-induced climate change made the conditions that fueled July wildfires in Ontario and the Northwest Territories roughly twice as likely. In the World Weather Attribution Report, an international team of scientists says what used to be rare fire conditions are now more and more likely today. Early observations indicate the hot, dry, and windy conditions underlying fires in Ontario could now be expected to occur every 6 to 15 years and every 2 to 6 years in the Northwest Territories. The report suggests that in a world without human-caused climate change, those conditions would have been much rarer, or less than once in 40 years.
Ontario's top court has refused to reopen a landmark youth-led challenge to the province's climate plan. The case will return to Superior Court, which must decide whether it can continue after the government partially repealed its 2018 climate law. The activists argue Ontario's weakened emissions target violates charter rights by increasing climate-related risks to current and future generations. The challenge remains unresolved nearly 7 years after it began, with lawyers promising to seek another hearing as soon as possible.
Premier Doug Ford has called by-elections in 3 Ontario ridings: Scarborough Southwest, York Simcoe, and right here in our area, Hamilton East, Stony Creek. Hamilton Ward 10 Councillor Jeff Beattie is running for the PC, saying he'll be withdrawing from the municipal election to run for the provincial office. Former Hamilton Mountain MPP Monique Taylor is running for the NDP. Taylor represented Hamilton Mountain for 14 years until she ran federally last year and finished 3rd. Heno Dosing is running for the Liberals. He campaigned for this riding in the last election. And Pascal Marchand is running for the Greens. She also campaigned in this riding in the last election. We spoke with each candidate except Councillor Jeff Beattie, who was not available, about what they bring to Queen's Park if elected.
Door by door, people are worried about the cost of living. They're struggling each and every day. They're looking at the cost of food. They're looking at the cost of their property taxes. At the same time, Doug Ford is wasting billions of dollars on himself and his friends.
If you think of the Green Party, you obviously think of clean air and clean water, and those are 2 main issues here in Hamilton. I've knocked on doors with people. The first questions they ask is, where do you stand on the data center? No other questions asked. That's what they care about.
Historically, over the past 8 years, they feel like they haven't been heard. When they reach out, they're not getting respected. And we see that here lately, for instance, with the soot. There's a good grassroots movement here speaking up about we need cleaner air. Meanwhile, we're not hearing anything from the government of making that better. But of course, there are the topics that are the evergreens. It's better schools, better hospitals. But again, respect for taxpayer dollars.
In Hamilton East, Stony Creek, we have a by-election of 2 other places in Ontario, and it's an opportunity for voters in those ridings to send a message to Doug Ford that they've had enough.
Ontario is reviewing 8 major public agencies to improve efficiency, productivity, and long-term spending. The agencies include Metrolinx, the LCBO, Legal Aid Ontario, the WSIB, and the Alcohol and Gaming Commission. The announcement comes as the Ford government faces criticism over taxpayer-funded hotel stays and a canceled $29 million jet purchase. Opposition leaders support stronger oversight, but accuse the government of using the reviews to distract from its own spending controversies. 7 more of Marineland's beluga whales arrived at San Antonio's SeaWorld this week. The whales left Niagara on Monday night and were loaded onto special planes for the journey. They traveled in specially prepared water-filled transport containers. The group was accompanied by veterinarians and other specialists. That brings SeaWorld's total to 9 belugas as the rescue continues. Xena, Gemini, Skyla, Mika, Eve, Neva, and Calypso will eventually be reunited with Frankie and Birdie Botts, who left Marineland in July. The new arrivals are being kept in a special habitat until they're fully acclimated, but the park says they're all eating well and adapting quickly.
Time for sports. Prime Minister Mark Carney says he no longer has confidence in FIFA President Gianni Infantino.
The idea that proper governance is not to disclose to your closest advisors, your chief operating officer, your fellow board members, something of consequence that you're even considering, let alone proposing, that's fatal.
It adds to the growing pressure on the soccer executive after his abandoned plan to sell stakes in the World Cup sparked a global backlash. Carney says Infantino committed a fatal governance failure by not consulting with senior advisors, including FIFA's chief operating officer and board members. FIFA, meantime, has reaffirmed its full support for Infantino. Hamilton Cardinals and Toronto Maple Leafs put on an offensive showcase at Christie Pitts. Jomar Hernandez homered to right field in the top of the 9th inning to give the Cardinals a 14-12 lead, and Hamilton held on for a dramatic 14-13 victory. Now, the Cards had a 12-6 lead after 5.5 innings last night before Toronto tied the game at 12-all in the bottom of the 8th. But the Cardinals closed the door in the bottom of the 9th and boosted their record to 21-12 on the season. Hamilton is in 3rd place in the Canadian Baseball League, 2.5 games behind first place Welland. The Jackfish host Barrie tonight at 7:05. Well, turns out the Blue Jays did not need the Simone Gavros good luck charm after all.
Ernie with a drive, out to left field and deep, and he'll watch it go. Clement puts a dent in the Crawford boxes, and the Blue Jays lead for the first time in the game. Boy, did he need that one.
Did he ever? Ernie Clement broke out of an 0-for-14 slump in the 10th inning yesterday by bashing a 2-run homer into the left field bleachers off his old college teammate, Bennett Sousa, as Toronto beat the Astros 5-4. The Jays fell behind 3-0 in the 3rd inning, but tied it at 3-all in the 6th, thanks to an RBI single by Kaz Okamoto and a 2-run blast by Jesus Sanchez. The Jays visit the Cubs this afternoon in a makeup game from a rainout on June 21st. At the National Bank Open in Toronto, Leylah Fernandez is Canada's last hope in both the women's and men's singles draws. The Laval native fired 3 aces and connected on 5 of 6 break points last night to sweep Mexico's Renata Zarazua 6-2, 6-2. The 30th seeded Fernandez will next play 5th seeded Mira Andreeva in the round of 32 tomorrow. Canada's Kayla Cross lost her match in straight sets to American Ann Lee. It was not a good start for Felix Auger-Aliassime. He was forced to withdraw before his opening round match last night after he suffered a back injury during practice yesterday. The Montreal native, who's ranked a career-high 4th in the world, entered the event in Montreal as the number 2 seed, the highest ever for a Canadian at the tournament in the Open era. He was the last Canadian to bow out in the men's singles draw. Hamilton Tiger Cats have signed 24-year-old Canadian linebacker Jaden Griffiths, who played with Ottawa last season. The Niagara River Lions tip off the CEBL playoffs today when they visit league-leading Scarborough in the semifinal. The NFL's preseason kicks off tonight with the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. Arizona is going to play Carolina. And coming up after 8 o'clock this morning, we will reveal the first ever CHCH Rising Star Athlete of the Month. Stay tuned.
Hey, 6:14. Let's get going into this Thursday morning, 6th of August. We have no problems here on the highways this morning, so we'll start there with traffic. 403 and Waterdown Road looks pretty good at the moment. Let's go to some MTO traffic cameras. See, yes, we did have a disabled vehicle. Now, they got it going, but as you can see, bottom left of your screen there, they're tracking it. They've got it going, and it's going really slowly, so we've got blocking vehicles behind it, but at least it's moving. The right lane is closed, and that's the QEW going Niagara bound at Mississauga Road. Is going past Credit River to Mississauga Road. That's really the only problem that we have at the moment. QEW Glendale. St. Catharines, Niagara on the Lake is doing okay. West of Eastport, much better now. Guelph line looks pretty good, so not a lot happening except that one disabled vehicle, which should be gone pretty soon. Let's get to our forecast for the day today. What do we have to start the morning here? Temperatures come down. We were 17 last hour, now sitting at 16. Winds are light. Humidity's up there. There's some fog patches out there. Be careful. The sun is coming slowly. Another couple of minutes, it'll be up. It's a partly cloudy sky at the moment. Air quality risk for the day today. Moderate risk category, like it was yesterday. What we have is a line of precipitation. Now, look at that. The brighter colors popping up, going from Windsor into London at the moment. This is a 6-hour loop, keeps repeating. You can see how that's getting closer to us, and that's what we are expecting for later on today. As that low pressure system approaches, that's going to bring the instability for the day today. Showers, possible thunderstorms today and tomorrow as well, as that frontal boundary and low gets toward the north away from us, but it's going to be fairly unsettled. Today is going to be warm, 28, 29, even 30 for St. Catharines. Humidex around 36 to 37, so we're looking at sun to start, and then some showers and thunderstorms later. They could last into the evening, but tonight fog will develop. Look how mild it's going to be. 20, 21, 22 for the Horseshoe, 19 in some areas, 18 to 17 in others. And then tomorrow, still staying warm, except for Burlington, only 23, but generally 27 to 26. It'll be a cloudy day tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms quite possible during the day. Humidex about 36 for the day tomorrow. So out the door, 6th morning of August. Partly sunny right now. Temperature is sitting at 16. Long range, of course, coming up. Simone, Rick.
Thanks, Brian. Coming up after the break, the value of trade between Canada and the U.S. has dropped over the past 2 years. We'll check those numbers coming up next. 6:19 on your Thursday morning. Time to take a look at some business news. The dollar is down to 71.36 cents U.S. Gold is up $26, while oil is down 17 cents to $75.02 U.S. a barrel. In midday European trading, London, Frankfurt, and Paris are all ahead this hour.
Some big losses on the Asian markets today, with Tokyo losing more than 600 points. On the North American markets, the TSX posted a 344-point gain yesterday.
The value of Canada's trade with the U.S. dropped by almost $2 billion between 2024 and the beginning of this year. That's a drop of 0.6%. Global Affairs Canada says the largest decline in two-way trade was in motor vehicles and parts, which fell by nearly 19%, or $6.7 billion. But in the same period, demand for precious stones and metals, cocoa, and aircraft parts all rose. Global Affairs says total Canada-U.S. trade in goods and services in the first 3 months of 2026 hit $322.8 billion.
Canadian auto sales in July were up from a year ago, marking the second straight month of sales gains. DeRose Automotive Consultants estimates 173,000 vehicles were sold in July, slightly up from the same month last year. It was also the best sales month of July in 7 years. DeRoche is also predicting a good August. Sales have been sluggish in the past year as Canada faces auto tariffs from the United States.
Canada Packers Inc., the company running Maple Leaf Foods' pork operations, is reporting a multi-million-dollar loss in its second quarter. The company says it lost more than $28 million in the period compared to a profit of $23 million in the same quarter last year. The company says a drop in sales is primarily because of a lowered wholesale value of pork and unfavorable currency due to a weaker Japanese yen. Taking a quick break right now. Brian will be back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast. Good morning.
Okay, good morning, 624, Thursday. Let's get you into it. We'll check traffic first of all. Really not a lot going on. QEW at Martindale, that's going through St. Catharines, is doing fine. We'll check Millen Road, Stony Creek, Toronto bound toward the Skyway, heading away from us. Coming off the Skyway, yeah, we do have some volume. You're coming off the Skyway, heading toward Fairview. That's a little bit slow right there, and that's a normal slowdown spot early in the morning. Nothing east of Brodie, and of course, as I did mention, we did have that disabled vehicle at Mississauga Road going Niagara bound, but it is now gone, so things are moving better. Temperature this morning, temperature in Hamilton, we're a fair bit cooler than other areas, 16 for Hamilton, but 20 for Grimsby, Mississauga, 21 into Toronto. Seasonal temperatures this time of year, well, 26 for the daytime high, 20 and 15 for the overnight low, so we're still above seasonal to start the morning. Those are our sun times. Yeah, sun slept in till 6:15 this morning. It goes down at 8:35 tonight. Records for today, and yeah, today is going to become unsettled as the day progresses. We'll start off with the sun, and then we'll get showers, possible thunderstorms later, but 29 feeling like 37 today. Sticky. 20 degrees overnight tonight. Now, evening showers, thunderstorms still possible, but overnight fog's going to develop as it stays fairly mild. 27 tomorrow, cloud, showers again, chance of thunderstorms, feeling like 35. Showers again on Saturday. Looks like it's going to be fairly unsettled with showers in 26. Hey, enjoy the sun for Sunday. At least we'll get one day. Sunny in 27. Then it's back to showers, possible Monday, cloudy on Tuesday. That's your forecast. Simone, Greg.
Thanks, Brian. Scientists behind one of the world's longest-running wildlife studies have found a novel approach to raising research funds.
Yeah, researchers at UCLA launched an OnlyFans account called Only Marms. It's to help support a project that has tracked yellow-bellied marmots in Colorado since 1962 after traditional research funding became harder to secure. Now, OnlyFans is a subscription platform more commonly associated with adult content. A graduate student dubbed the account Only Marms, and the team leaned into the joke by promising subscribers uncensored marmot content. And the account has generated about $4,000 so far, with the project ultimately needing between $75,000 and $100,000 a year to support graduate students and fieldwork, funding that federal grants once provided.
Okay.
This is safe. We can visit it.
Yes.
It's just marmots.
All right.
And if you want to support them financially, go ahead.
They have a big goal there, huh?
Yeah, that's,
oh my goodness.
That's a lofty one.
I didn't even know that those existed, so I'm happy that this brought me some new content to look at. All right.
The marmots.
Only marmots. Stay with us. More to come after the break. Good morning.
They're kind of cute.
They are kind of cute.